I lost track of time that night. I hadn't lost track of time over the previous 35 years, but that night I did lose track of time. Oh, I was touched by it. Still am. I'm Eugene McVeigh. I'm the brother of Columba McVeigh, one of the so-called disappeared. My brother was abducted in 1975 and he was buried secretly at the time and his body remains unfound.
I'm Kate Gelke. I'm the artistic director of Spark Opera. The Requiem for the Disappeared was a 1-hour new classical work by Conor Mitchell, which was a sort of, I guess you could call it a tribute to the families of the disappeared.
Requiem for the Disappeared by Spark Opera is nominated in the Best Arts category in the National Lottery Awards 2013. Rudy O'Kane, National Lottery Good Causes spokesperson for Northern Ireland. What we look for is projects that we can recognise and celebrate the difference that they make to organisations and local communities. Spark Opera received relatively small amount in terms of lottery funding, just under 10,000 from the Arts Council of Northern Ireland, and we feel they really made a small amount go a long way. This piece of work, created by a relatively small group of people, really showed how powerful opera could be, opened it up to the masses, used classically trained musicians and volunteers and harnessed them together to create a 1-hour masterpiece.
Maybe the reason that we stood out in the Northern Irish context was because no one has really done anything like this before.
My name is Anne Morgan and I am a sister of Seamus Ruddy, who is one of the disappeared. Seamus is disappeared now 28 years. We are still waiting to give him a Christian burial. During the Requiem, I know I was thinking about my brother, and the emotion of that was still with me while I was listening to it.
I'm a cameraman, so my medium is visual, and I was just listening to this wonderful representation of the horrible events that surrounded my brother's death and people like him. And it was just, in an instant, it just all came together. It's hard to describe, but it was just a cathartic moment for me. There was storytelling within that performance. The narrative of the music was a narrative that I understood as if I didn't know already, but it displayed to me, it conveyed to me tragedy. It was putting images in my head, horrible images, and you might say, well, how's that consoling? But it was, again, a requiem. It's like being at a funeral mass or a funeral service. It can be a time of sadness, but it can be a time of celebration as well.